George Lucas, Samuel L. Jackson in front of the photographers.
Voilà, vous avez énormément de photographes. Les places étaient très chères aujourd'hui pour ce photocall.
Loads of photographs, people fighting for their positions. All the places are taken. Natalie Portman, Radius, who we'll see again in Cannes, in an Israeli film, Amos Gittai's film, Free Zone, which will be presented on the 19th of May. So she's here for two things.
Présent également, vous l'avez vu, alors Hayden Christensen, vous l'avez...
Hayden Christensen, you can see there.
Ian McDermott.
And I think I saw Ian McDermott.
Hayden Christensen.
Particularly young Hayden Christensen, who
toute la trame du scénario de George
has the
Lucas.
whole weight of the screenplay on his shoulders, and this incredible metamorphosis going over to the dark side of the Force. Samuel L. Jackson, everybody's here in Cannes. I'm sure, George Lucas, it must be a really very special moment for you. I suppose coming to present the last episode of this saga, which is the history, is the story of your life in a way, almost. I mean, what sort of state of mind are you in, George?
Well, I'm very relieved that they finally have finished it, and it's now one movie instead of six. And it's fun to be back at Cannes, because many years ago, when I was at the Director's Fortnight here, is when I made the deal for Star Wars. And so it was born here, and I guess this is where the last big push is going to be, the last big presentation. Or the first presentation of the last film. Let's put it that way. Truth is, whenever you work on a film, you sort of create a little family, and you go through a lot of very intense things together, and it's always very sad when you finish. This one has gone on for 30 years, and we've had many endings to it. But you know, it's still a sort of the same feeling you get as your family begins to drift away. But nobody ever disappears. You know, we still see each other on holidays.
Well, I think just the storyline of what they're going through is so strong that it's easy to relate to emotionally. And we did have rehearsal on this one, which we did more rehearsal on this one than the others, and we worked together. And also, having worked with Hayden before and knowing each other better, and that really added to it as well, because I think there was sort of a deeper level of, you know, trust and understanding between us, and that definitely added to it. And I think it's really nice because those scenes give you sort of the other side to make it more ambiguous what evil means, because you see sort of a lighter, softer side to Anakin's, you know, Hayden's character, and it really brings sort of a blurrier image of the line between, you know, good and evil.
Well, the thing is, as I say, when I did the first one, it was supposed to be one movie, and then it just got bigger, and I cut it into 3 parts. But in order to, it was always intended to start in episode 4 of a Saturday matinee serial, which meant you didn't get to see the beginning part of it. But in order to write that, I had to write a backstory for all the characters, so I knew where all the characters came. But they're kind of character profiles and things that, rather than a story. And they're also, you know, and then there's how the Republic became the Empire and stuff. So that sort of thing was what was the emphasis of the first part of the film, but it worked its way back from the original story. So the original story was written out of this, so it was very easy to link it up. The biggest problem I had is over the years I developed all kinds of side stories and little bits and pieces that had to be cut out because I had to focus on Anakin. It just kept. The problem always is, you know, when you start in making movies, you always say, well, how can I write something that goes on for 2 hours? Especially if you come out of film school, you say, oh, what, you know, how can I find enough stuff to put in this thing? And then once you start making movies, you realize it's really the opposite problem. Is you always end up with way too much, and you got to figure out how to keep cutting things down and making it more refined and more precise. But you know, doing something like this is an unusual kind of movie because it goes over so much time. I mean, it's basically something I should have shot in 4 years, and it took me 30 to get it done. So.